Hi guys, it's Daniela again and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm bringing you my first autumn makeup look. So I'm thinking of using some like yellows, mustards, like forest greens and maybe like a brown lip. Who knows? I'm just gonna put some makeup on and chat. So if you're excited about this video, continue watching and let's get started. Hi guys, so I've already primed my eyelids and now let's get started. And the palette I think I'm going to use today is the Makeup Revolution Reloaded Iconic Division palette. So the reason why I think I'm going to go in with this palette is because I really want to use like this yellow, this green, this like burnt orange. But I have got the Sof Extra Spice palette and I've got my NYX Brights palette in case I want to dabble in some more. So let's get started. So the first brush I'm going to go in with is the M441 by Morphe. And I'm going to go in first with this colour here. And just take that into my crease. I have not set my eyelids, by the way. I'm just going straight with eyeshadow over my concealer. But it's probably a little bit dry already anyways. And the kind of look that I'm kind of going for is a look that Jaclyn Hill recently posted not long ago. It was like a yellow kind of eyelid and then lower lash line in green. That's the kind of vibe I'm going for. So now I'm going to take a smaller brush and I'm going to go in with the E28 by Morphe and I'm going to go in with this colour here and just take this into my crease. And this is just going to darken it out a little bit. So now I'm just going to go in with this yellow from the NYX palette on the same brush that I used for my first like transition shade, and I'm just going to go over this a little bit just to make sure it's still very much yellow and you can still see it under like the mustardy colour. I think I'm going to go in with the actual Sof Extra Spice palette. So you don't actually have to use the NYX one, you could literally just use this one or this one depending on how you want to do the look. So I'm going to go in with this colour here and I'm going to pick up the tiniest bit and put this into my crease and blend it up the slightest bit because this colour is quite pigmented and I don't want to go too overboard with the orange. And then go back in with the yellow, so I'm going to use the yellow from this Sof palette. So realistically you could really just use this palette because I'm going to use the yellow, well I've used the yellow, orange, and then I want like a green, so you could have just used this green if that's the green that you wanted, but I just want to use two palettes. Now I'm going to take the orange a little bit higher just so when I have my eyes like this you can still see some of the orange. I'm going to do one eye off camera just for, as I've said before, storage purpose. So I'm going to cut the crease. I'm just using my Tarte Shape Tape. And the only reason I'm cutting the crease is just because I really want to use like quite a light gold. And on top of all this powder that I've got going on my lid, it might not show up as vibrant, so I'm just gonna cut the lid. So I think for my eyelid, because there's not really a gold that I want from these palettes, I'm gonna go in with the Makeup Revolution and Sof highlighting palette, and I'm gonna take this gold right here and place that into my eyelid and see how that looks. Hopefully this is the kind of gold that I want. It's just a really like light gold. And I haven't wet my brush or anything. So then obviously you have to kind of blend the edges. So I'm going to go in with the yellow first. And then I'm going to go in with the orange. And I'm kind of covering a lot of the shimmer up. I don't know if you'll be able to see. But I don't really want the shimmer to stop here. I want it to just be like quite a gradual fade. So this is the eye look so far. Realistically, you don't have to use this palette just because you don't have to use these two colours. You can just use a yellow and an orange and kind of make it more into like a mustard and like a burnt kind of orange. So you really don't have to use this palette, but obviously if you have this palette, use it. Or if you have this palette, use it. Whatever palette you have at home, whatever colours you have at home, use whatever you have. But saying that, I am going to use this palette for the greens. So any greens that you have at home, if you did want to kind of recreate this look, just use any kind of greens similar to the ones I'm going to use, and you really don't have to use the same palettes I have. So I'm going to go off camera, do this eye, and then I will be back to finish off the rest of the look with you. So I will see you in a bit. Bye guys. Hi guys, so I'm back. As you can see, I've done this eye off camera. I have also added some PS Strobing Highlight Cream to the top of my cheekbones, to my nose, my chin, my cupid's bow. And I've also colour corrected my skin using the e.l.f. Colour correcting stick in orange. I just put it around my mouth and my eyes. So now it's time for foundation, and for foundation I'm going to use the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Foundation in Linen. I tried this out for one of my try before you buys. Can't really remember how I feel about it, but I think it was a really good matte foundation from what I remember. So I'm going to just use this again. Not sure if this is going to be my colour, but you know. Seems to not really be coming out, so I'm gonna get a little, yeah, it's just finishing, I think. So I'm just gonna get some on the back of my brush and use this to put it on my face, and then I'm just gonna blend this out with a beauty blender. I'm not gonna use a beauty blender because it's going really weird with the beauty blender, so I'm just gonna use a brush. So the colour is definitely off. The colour that I got is Linen, and I definitely think it's a little bit too dark for me, and maybe a little bit too orange as well. Does cover up my skin pretty well. Definitely a matte foundation. Has anyone else started watching Harry Potter now that it's autumn? Or is it just me? Yep, I've started already. I watched the first one yesterday and the second one. And I'm going to watch the third and the fourth and all the rest probably today and this week. Now that I've done that, I'm going to go in with my concealer, and the concealer I'm using is the same as usual. It's the Tarte Shape Tape. I'm just blending that out with my beauty blender. I was just thinking about who was my favourite Harry Potter character, and I don't have a favourite, but I really like Moaning Myrtle, Lupin, Mad-Eye, Hagrid, Dumbledore, McGonagall, basically a lot of them. Obviously I like the three main ones like Harry, Hermione and Ron, but I really like Mad-Eye and Moaning Myrtle. McGonagall's got a lot of sass and I love it. So now I'm just going to set my under eyes with the RCMA No Colour Powder. And hopefully this will brighten my face a little bit, because it does kind of leave a little bit of a residue. I'm just going to let that literally sit for like 2 minutes. Not even that. Now I'm going to bronze, and I'm going to use my Cheek Parade palette by Benefit, and I'm going to go in with Hoola Light and Hoola. So first I'm going to go in with Hoola Light. So now I'm going in with Hoola, just on a smaller brush. So what are your favourite Harry Potter movies and books? I've only read the first book. I haven't read any of the others. I really want to buy the books, but I just don't like how the illustrations are on the new versions. I just like the old classic illustrations, but they're quite expensive. For me, my favourite movies are so hard. I would say I really like the first one, obviously. I really like The Prisoner of Azkaban and The Order of Phoenix. I really like The Order of Phoenix. But I love all of them like equally. I think I can watch The Prisoner of Azkaban and The Order of Phoenix a lot more than the others. I've watched it, I don't know how many times I've watched the Harry Potter movies, but yeah, Order of Phoenix and The Prisoner of Azkaban are probably my favourite. Just because you get to kind of meet his godfather, which is Sirius Black, and The Order of Phoenix. I think that's the first time that Mad-Eye comes into it, if I'm not mistaken. I probably am. And then like I like the one where Lupin's in it as well, and I think that's The Prisoner of Azkaban. But yeah, I really like those ones. Okay, so I've just kind of cut my cheek a little bit more, and now I've got Christmas beard. So now for blush, I'm going to go in with this colour, and this is from the Morphe 9B palette. Okay, so now I'm just going to brush off this bake. So I'm going to use my Makeup Revolution and Soft palette. I'm going to go in with the same colour that I used for my lid on my cheekbones. Then with a smaller brush, I'm going to go in with the same colour and go on my Cupid's bow and down the bridge of my nose. And then my chin, I'm going to use the big fluffy brush. And now I'm just going to use the same highlight and go into my inner corner with it. Now for my lower lash line, I'm going to go in with the Makeup Revolution palette. First, I'm going to go in with this colour, just really blown out. And then I'm going to go in with the greens. For this colour here, I'm going to take the Zoeva 227 brush. Now I'm going to go in with this green here and place that on my lower lash line. And I'm just taking this closer to my lower lash line than the yellow. Now with my E36 brush, I'm going to go in with this colour and take this also into my lower lash line. I'm just slowly building up the green. So now with the same brush, I'm going to go in with this colour here and take that to my lower lash line. And kind of drag it in a little bit. Now for the waterline, you can either go with a black, a green. To be honest, you could kind of use any colour in this kind of family if you wanted to. I'm going to go in with a brown, and this is the Essence Long Lasting Eye Pencil in Hot Chocolate. I bought this recently and I've been really enjoying it. Okay, so this is how it should look. Quite dark, grungy, very fall appropriate in my eyes. So I'm going to go off camera, do my mascara, just because it's nothing exciting. It's, you know, mascara. And I'm going to use the Essence I Love Extreme Crazy Volume Mascara. And while I'm there, I might as well do my brows just because they're tedious. I'm going to use my Skinny Brow by PS and my L'Oreal brown mascara, and then I'll be back. So now for lips, I'm going to use the NYX lip liner in Brown Coffee to line my lips. You could obviously use a nude if you wanted to, but I really feel like using brown. Now that I've lined my lips, I'm going to go in with the PS Super Matte Liquid Lipstick in Carla, which is a really nice colour. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm not really liking this lip. It's a bit more like purple than I wanted. So I actually like this lip a lot better now. It's the Milani More Matte Liquid Lipstick in Covert. So yeah guys, this is the final look. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I really like the look. I really like how it gives me like autumn feels, like the leaves when they're going from like green to orange and brown, like hot chocolate. So yeah, I really like this look. I hope you do as well. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up, some comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.